Well, hello there guys, welcome back to some more Oriental Empires. I really want to thank everybody for being in on this series, and if you guys have not seen the beginning yet, please go watch it guys, it's totally worth it. I'm really enjoying it. This is one of the few games of this sort of 4X type that I really want to keep playing, and for that we need your help. So it looks like our old warlord or leader died, and now the power has shifted over to Yan. Yan is, of course, the faction leader now, and he actually has much more authority than our original leader did. So in a way, I kind of appreciate him being there. Now, I don't want to give away any spoilers, so if you're new to the series, go check out the playlist. But I'm about to jump into some spoilers, and that is, he died in this city right here of Yisheng, and this is, of course, the city we took from the Ba people. Now, we did make the Ba people our vassals, which is pretty interesting, to say the least, and we also got this terraced farming, which seems to be doing really well for us. I don't want to put up too many of these, but I essentially want to keep up building the terraces, and I want to try and connect these two provinces, because we actually have stuff here that's quite valuable. As you can see, we've got the grapes, or the mulberry, excuse me, the mulberry bush, and also we've got the fish over here. So we definitely want to think about exploiting these regions. Now, we also have a few different locations of, not necessarily enemies, but other empires that I'm worried about. One of them, of course, is this one right here, the Chu people. We have a fraternal harmony pact with the Zhu people, but you never know what can happen. And I think the Chu people, they're getting awfully close here. I might want to start another war here. We're getting to that point and go ahead and declare war on the Chu. One thing I'm going to do, of course, is in Pu, our capital, we want to try and build up a strong army, and we've got Wei Yi, who's our new faction heir, who just got here. And I hope we get more of these guys, but one thing we need to do, we've already started building up actually quite a lot of buildings in the city. I do want to actually build a wharf, but it would take a while, and I'm not sure how good it's going to be. Wooden palisade would be interesting, but I really want to focus on the civic buildings, and we already have a few of them up. We have a, I don't think we have a pottery workshop, but we have a granary. We could also get a siege granary, a silk weaver pottery workshop. This is going to be 750. That's quite expensive, but this dedicated workshop can supply both to the local population and export to other bazaars. And to this bazaar here, we actually have a bazaar here in Pete. So I think I'm going to go for the pottery workshop, though I think I might also be better off waiting just a little bit, especially while we got this terraced farming and we're still building this. This is going to put farms up on the mountains. We're going to have a tremendous amount of income from this, or I hope we are, and I think we're going to try and lower it. So there is a level of high unrest here. Let's take a look. The level of... Stop, lady! The level of peasant unrest here in high may lead to disruption, collection. Click or tap on the peasant unrest icon on top of the screen to see what is causing the problem. Alright. I'm not seeing that on top of the screen. I think I know where I have to go. Okay, so there's noble unrest. Their happiness is not good, and there's peasant unrest. Dissatisfied, and I want to know how I can improve this. It's not really giving me a reason. Culture, local factors, distance to the capital, authority, culture. So we need to increase the culture here. We need to basically start building some buildings in this area, I'm thinking. So in Chengdu, and it's one of our first cities, so I think it deserves a good old building. Would love to build a palace, but we can't afford it. A settlement upgrade would be 2,000. Military buildings aren't too bad, but I think we want to work on pottery workshop, a silk weaver, or granary. Let's go for the granary, and this is going to hopefully make the people happy, because now we'll have something here for the people in case they need to store their crops, that sort of thing. I'm also going to get some nobles here, some noble axemen, and with the noble axemen, I'm going to get some peasant light spearmen. I hope this isn't going to put us in the red money-wise, but I don't think it matters. I think we need to keep on moving. We also need to consider taking this army, just defeated an army of bandits, by the way, and maybe heading east to see what there is. Obviously, this is going to leave some of our areas open for attack, so I want to make sure that we keep our faction heir back here, just to watch the area, make sure nobody's coming through, and let's end the turn, and hope that we don't lose too much money here. That, of course, is my main goal. Look at this. Once again, these guys are going into our territory. I don't like this. And this could be a reason to attack them within our territory. Obviously, we don't have rights to attack them outside of our territory unless we want to cause an entire war, which right now I'm not exactly against. but we want to be defended properly before we do cause a war. And I also want cities like Yisheng to be defended, and I'm also hoping that our vassals will actually step in and help us during this war. I'm not sure if they have to. Again, this would be the first war I've caused with a vassal under my control, and it's going to be interesting to see how they react, guys. So we want to be very careful how we do this, but we definitely want to show the enemy they can't just come waltzing into our land. Noble unrest. The nobles like to be in control of their own areas, and recent interference by the central state. If they think the state is too weak to punish them, they will misbehave and may even revolt. The strength of the central state is measured by your authority score shown in the bottom left corner. If you have more settlements than you have authority, you risk unrest amongst the nobles. In practice, it's usually safe to exceed your authority by 1 or 2, especially early in game. So 5 is our culture, 9 is our authority right now. I'm still not able to discover exactly what we need in terms of authority, but I think 9 plus, or 4 plus 1, which is our faction leader or factionaire, was probably what our authority is. So it's probably something like maybe 5 or even 4. So I do want to be careful, and we do want to be concerned about the authority issue. And I also think I want to try to attack this guy. Of course, we actually have a treaty with these guys, so they're able to move freely through our land, but that doesn't make me very happy, to be honest with you. So I'm going to cancel that move. We're going to keep him in there, and thankfully we're still making a profit, guys. So I'm definitely going to keep moving east towards the snowy plains. As for Chengdu, it looks like there's still population unrest, but hopefully that will decrease as we continue on our path. And we're still not at roads. It's going to take a while to start getting some roads going. We've got some very basic roads, but these are not main trade paths, as it were. Alright, once again, not much going on there. Pretty nice, and we're still making a profit. Eventually we can start building more buildings. For now, of course, I'm going to keep on moving with this army north of Jitong. We're also hunting for bandits, but realistically what we're really doing here is we're trying to find closer routes to the enemy should and when we choose to attack. But I am considering getting another settler. Like I said, one of my biggest goals is to connect Yisheng with the rest of the mainland here, and that would really give us a nice empire, a nice network of roads, etc., provinces. But we also have to be careful of our authority, and I think right now to raise it, we either need to go to war, or we need to do something to show the nobles that we are still in charge. We have a tech warning, so we're going to go ahead and research some technology, and let's see. Now, we actually focused on shamanism before to get the Priest King edict, and this allows us not only to relocate nobles, but increases our authority by 2. Now, I'm going to select Yin and Yang because our people have had a distinct need for culture, and in fact, we could get a Taoist temple. I think I'm going to go for actually astrology, but that's 12, whereas Yin and Yang is only 10. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for the easier option just to get that culture score up. Our people, you know, they need to feel like the Shu people. If they don't feel like the Shu people, they're not really going to have any desire to protect this land or to farm it or do anything of that nature, and we're just going to have rebel bands everywhere. So we are going to send that army out. I'm considering sending other armies out, but for now, we'll keep things very, very light. And we're also hoping that Mianzhu, this is a new province of ours, begins to build itself up. Now I want to take a look over here because in Yisheng we do have a defensive force, and I'm trying to think what we could do with them. I don't want to turn on our vassals yet, but it's definitely a possibility. They've got a pretty nice city going on here. We've taken over it once, and it has beautiful farmlands, so it's definitely a consideration. But for now, we're going to end the turn safely and hopefully not get into any conflict, although I really hate that Chu neutral faction constantly in my land. It's really disrespectful of them. We're not in their land pissing around, and even if we're at peace, it's just a sign of disrespect in my opinion. Okay, 537, and we're getting 80 a turn. That's pretty good, guys. Pretty good. We also got the granary built in Chengdu. I want to see if this improves relations with the people a bit. Actually, it looks like it's gotten a little worse. A lot of noble unrest, peasant unrest, etc. So we need to be careful of this. And income is 117. Expenditures are kind of high. That could be the issue. Right now, I'm just going to hope the problems resolve themselves. There's not really much we can do except maybe send our main force towards Chengdu province. So I might do that, but we're leaving P dangerously open. Nonetheless, we're going to try it out, guys, and we're going to keep on moving east with this force. In fact, we'll move this way, end the turn. And hopefully we'll get a nice new line of sight here. I want to take a look over here and see how this army's doing. I like that the Chu have gotten out of the way. They see this huge horde coming. They're like, you know what, maybe we should make way for the force. Yeah, I think you probably should. Okay, the edicts. That's right. Somebody kept mentioning the edicts ring to me. And I have not been following up on the edicts, I admit. So we need to focus on these edicts. Technology and culture, diplomacy, edicts. Here we go. So, we could do a Grand Commandant. Our enemies are many, and a ruler cannot be everywhere at once. Therefore, let us appoint a Commandant to organize the army and to lead it when the ruler is otherwise engaged. Now, this is going to lessen our authority. The gentlemen ride chariots. Our army needs more chariot-born soldiers if it is to be victorious. This would give us noble unrest for 10 turns. And this would give us peasant unrest, but it would actually boost our respect amongst the nobles, the wealth field system. So I think I'm going to do it, and we're also going to increase the grain tax. So we're going to issue the wealth field system, guys. This is our newest edict, and hopefully this is going to help out. And now, of course, I get the lawgiver trait, which is pretty cool. So far, we've only made contact with 3 other cultures, really. One that I think got essentially destroyed by us, because they're our vassal now, and we're going to keep on moving east with this army of Yan. Although, I'm starting to think now, he might need more men to actually carry out a proper war, so we're going to bring him back, but we are going to bring this unit to Chengdu province, and hopefully he can lower the unrest in this area. Okay, guys, some tech warnings here. We definitely want to go ahead and select something. So, for knowledge, we're almost in the Warring States area, guys. We could get the calendar, which would increase our authority, or we could get the yin and yang, once again, which would increase our thought, but it's already being studied in our thought experiments, as it were. So we're going to do the calendar here, and end the turn. There we go. They finally got out of our area. Makes me a little happier. Once again, 476, guys, as a bonus. We're making serious cash now. And obviously, if we have this guy, Mian, our faction leader, how could I call him this guy? This is our great faction leader. If we can get him over here, he could probably help as well. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start exploring to the west. So I'm going to take Wei Yi, I'm going to take some nobles, some noble archers, and I'm going to leave the peasant spearmen in control of this province. Maybe not the greatest idea in the world, but I think it'll work out okay. And let's make sure that everyone else is pretty secure. And I might very soon start constructing some bonus things here in P, guys. Let's take a look. Here you can see our peasant unrest is non-existent. Our noble unrest, anyway, is non-existent, which is great. The Silk Weaver. This would probably make us quite a lot of money. And I think right now the focus should be money, but, you know, the focus could also be building another temple or another grand palace. Instead of a palace, a grand palace. I'm thinking right now I'm going to go with the pottery workshop, because we can save some money and possibly even build a few more infantry units or just army units in general to protect the homeland. So I'm starting to think that might be an idea too. Let's get our guy back, and then we'll consider what else we're going to do. Of course, I'm definitely going to head out, and in fact, I might even take one of these guys with us, just to have a proper army. And I think then at Chengdu, I will also build one infantry unit. Let's get a spearman unit here. Long spearman, and end the turn, guys. Go and search. And as you can see, as soon as we left, these guys came back. The Chu came back. So I'm very, very suspicious of these guys. I think their plans are nefarious, and they definitely don't involve us coming out on top by any means. Now here at P, we've got a problem. It is undefended, and there are bandits nearby. You guys know what that means. We've got to get some more troops. So we're going to get some archers, and we're going to get some noble axemen, and maybe one more infantry unit. I think we can, at this point, recruit a nice large army. Eventually we can disband them if we need to. But I'm also going to take my forces at Jitong, led by Yi An, and I'm going to attack these bandits head-on. Hopefully we can catch them, because the last thing I need are bandits roaming around my lands, ruining things. We just can't have it, guys. Chengdu Province is going to be Chengdu Province, and hopefully they don't revolt, but we can't focus everything on these guys. And actually the revolt, the noble unrest is non-existent. The peasant unrest is 71%, so they're not very happy. They just have dissatisfaction. It's the very, very large amount of military service, kind of makes sense. The labor service, overcrowding, and well-field system. So we need to improve the crowding in this area. So I think maybe chopping down some forest would help. I could be wrong, but I would assume getting rid of those woods is going to increase the ability to, build things here in this area. And I think that's probably what the peasants want. They want more land to cultivate. I hope so, anyway. Let's also get that terraced farming up there. And all of this stuff is going to increase our profits. Right now, our actual amount of citizens is huge, and that's going to continue to increase if we keep treating this area properly. Let me also head over to Yicheng. I'm really tempted to get a settler unit at Yicheng. Right now, though, we'll just focus on this really valuable terraced farming. And of course, this is just building farms on the edge of mountains, essentially, but it's very effective. And obviously, in many East Asian countries, this is quite common. So I think we're going to try and get that settler unit very soon. Right now, though, the authority, as you can see here, the measure of my central authority is 9. So I guess maybe this is my authority. We need to find out how much authority we need. And this is where we're still noobs, obviously. We still have a lot to learn about the game. But let's end the turn and hope for the best. Tech warning, you bet we want to study the technology. And we're back to military technology. So the road building is so important. We're finally going to be getting some roads. This can really connect our empire and make us a much more valuable power, really. Now, here we go, guys. We've got the Battle of Jitong. The bandits are definitely ready for a fight, and we're ready to meet them in battle. Come on, boys. Out of the city. I don't like that the nobles are attacking first, but at least they're showing that they're not afraid of anything. Of course, that could end in their death. So, Yian, be careful here. You're our faction heir, or you're actually our faction leader. We can't have you dying. Alright, there we go. We got some bandits over here. Show them no mercy, men. And already our men are attacking. Flank attack. Nice. We already got a few. They're going to attack our peasant spearmen here. And these peasant spearmen, they've fought quite a few campaigns already, so maybe not the best thinking by the bandits. I think we can actually trap them here. Look at that flank attack. It's exactly what we need, and I think these bandits are going to regret very much ever forming a bandit gang here in our land. So look at that. Man, they're fighting to the end. Our nobles have their pickaxes here, and yes, that is their weapon of choice, and they're just going to work on these guys. There we go. Enemy is retreated. A lot of dead bandits, and let's hope that they leave their lives of banditry and go back to good farm work like proper peasants. If not, of course, we're just going to have to kill them all, which is fine by me. Okay, let's go ahead and fast forward, and actually we have another force coming out, and I think this one from Jitong, sorry, actually that was the force from Jitong that we ordered out. We could use them to assist B, because the enemies could be coming this way, so I'm going to go ahead and charge, and of course we're still protecting P, and we're going to keep moving west over here. Let's see what we can find. At that point we'll move back with the army of Wei Yi, but for now I think it's important to keep on increasing his power. Now, one thing that's scaring me is my Ba vassals have started to build over here, so that means that they're starting to increase their territory, and that worries me. I'm sure vassals can eventually throw off their chains, and if that happens, we're going to have a big problem on our hands. So let's end the turn here. I think we can probably send one of our units over here to see what this person wants, and end the turn. And there we go. Sure enough, the bandits are trying to actually get past P, but since our army didn't attack it, the bandits are actually still there burning our stuff, so that's enraging, to say the least. We could use this peasant army to fight them, and I think these guys will move back to Jitong. I'm pretty sure the peasant army can handle this. Now, the one scary thing is, look at this. We already have a large group of bandits rising up near Chengdu. And Chengdu province is the province where we've had some issues already with the peasantry. They're not happy with being recruited into the military. I'm going to get some nobles here to be recruited. Now we've got 3 units that I think will do pretty well against the enemy, if it comes to that. And let's really want to keep on exploring with this unit. But I think what we'll do is this. We'll take one of these units, one of the peasant spearmen, we'll send him out, and we'll bring Wei Yi back to fight the bandits if he has to. And let's see what this person wanted. Alright, this is disease in Fengjing. We don't want to know about this. It's bad news. Okay, so maybe that wasn't a character meeting, or maybe we need to wait their turn, or perhaps we actually need to come by with one of our generals. That's probably the most likely scenario. But let's hope that the our vassals here, the Ba, aren't planning anything silly. So we've got a tech warning. We definitely need to study some technology, and I think we'll go for the churn drill. And this enables the construction of a gold mine, a jade quarry, a copper mine. We should have had this a long time ago, guys. So hopefully this is going to improve our situation even more. And yeah, I think this army can come back. They're not going to unlock that unit, so I guess you need to have an actual hero unit show up, or in this case, a leader unit. Battle of P. Oh boy. I don't know if we defended P very well. Why are you running away, boys? This is not the force at P. Alright, here we go, guys. So I hope that they can handle these bandits. These are definitely nobles. You can see those pickaxes are going to work. A lot of bandits going down, and I think they're running. That was the fastest battle we've had. And P is, of course, protected. Doing just fine. That fire is not a bad one. It's just probably a foundry. Or maybe even a place where they cook the delicious, spicy Szechuan food. But we do have another force of bandits here, and this is the larger force that really concerned me. We may need to go ahead and attack them and hope for the best, because that is a lot of bandits. And it's not going to help us one bit. And there we go. If these bandit armies join up, guys, that's going to be a problem. So we need to be very, very concerned about that. There's just a lot here near Chengdu. This has been a province, unfortunately, that just hasn't had the best future. Or hasn't had the best life in general. It's lost money. The people are always out of work. You know, they're not very happy. It's almost like a tiny version of the EU, really, when you think about it. Now, I think we're going to grab this guy and going to try and move as quickly as we can back to Chengdu. But I'm considering taking this army at Chengdu and pulverizing those bandits. So that's actually your call, guys. Obviously, our trade route is blocked here by enemy forces. It's not helpful whatsoever. But at the same time, I want to go here to B. And let's do something for the peasants. We need to find out how to decrease this unrest. Not to say increase. We'll take this army, move them back into P. They've already done their thing. And we'll take this army, and of course get them back to Jitong with Yi on here in charge. And I'm hoping we can figure out something. So there is sickness, and that's happening in the Ba territory, so it doesn't affect us. I'm not too concerned. But anyway, guys, if you enjoy this series, please make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to let me know by liking these videos and making sure that this video gets out to as many people as possible. And also, watch that playlist. Even if you haven't seen an episode or you've seen it already, don't forget to go back, maybe watch it again. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much, and onwards with the Shu Empire.